to a collapse of the Amazon rainforest, leading to a situation where a savanna would occupy the area, part of the area. So this sort of reddish part here, which it actually occupied in a certain point in time, and it will turn back into a savanna, which it was some 35,000 years ago. So that means that a collapse in Amazonia is likely if the temperature goes beyond 3.5, 4 degrees. And so it will be for water availability, also the result of downscaling. As you know, Brazil has a very dry region in the northeast, which has very dry conditions, which experiences drought and El Nino conditions. And what we're seeing is, if a scenario goes of 2.5 degrees to 3 degrees, there will be much less water for agriculture, which in turn will lead to collapse of many of about 25 to 30 million people living in this region who work in very, very difficult conditions. All of this is the result, as they call it, downscaling. So what is Brazil's take on it? First of all, we have shown by our research that anything 2 degrees is already very tough to us. Anything below that, beyond that, would be a collapse of most of the current agricultural production system in Brazil. Brazil is coming to this conference by having a thing which is unprecedented. Brazil is saying we're going to cut emissions in real terms. That's the clear, it's not a cut on the growth, it's a cut on real terms. So in 2020, we plan to have 20% less emissions in real terms compared to 2005. And this is about considering a 5% yearly growth. This is brought about by reducing deforestation in Amazonia by 80% and reducing deforestation in savanna by 40%. We're also increasing the renewable energy use. As you probably know, Brazil is currently the country who has by far of all nations, or all of its size, the highest use of renewables. It's about 46% of our energy matrix is renewables. We're going to increase up to 55%. And we are making a strong effort in technology in 3 areas, which I say, the biofuels area, which we continue and plan to be one of the leaders in productivity and effective use of basically sugarcane, but also second generation biofuels. An enormous effort of research in tropical agriculture, which we hope will be of use not only to Brazil, but also other developing nations, and technology transfer of our expertise in land remote sensing.